Yo, good evening or good morning wherever you are. Anyway, it's another day. We are coming to try out some stuff on Gate. So, usually on self-managed clusters, you come across some instances where your API server might crash. That might be a real deal for you. Usually, when you're on managed clusters like EKS, GK and all that, you don't come across these kind of issues. But on clusters that you are managing yourself and you are handling everything yourself, you can't run away from these issues. They are going to come up either when you are upgrading your cluster or doing some maintenance or whatever. It can come up at any time. So let's see. This is a library. I say a library, a lab from Killer Coda, Killer Shell, whatever. So let's see. They said the idea here is to misconfigure the API server in different ways, then check possible log location for errors. Okay, you should be very comfortable with the situations where API server is not coming back up. Okay, I mean that's exactly why we are here. So configure the API server manifest with a new this thing. Okay, so they want us to configure it with something which is obviously going to throw errors. Then we should check if the port comes back up. What logs this causes fix. All right, so first of all, let's check if the API server is even running at all. Maybe it's if in the beginning it wasn't even running. So kubectl. Let's get the port right from cube system. Let's see. So yeah, our API server is running. Okay, our API server is running. Where is it running from? Obviously, it will be running from etc kubernetes manifests, right? Cube API server. So let's check that file instead of let's check it. So this is the file that is it's running from. Alright, we don't need to go through everything. We just need to glance through what's happening here. Okay. So let's copy that file somewhere. I'm coming. Make directory. Call it k8s manifest backup. All right. Cool. So copy etc kubernetes manifest cube API server. We copy it into k8s. The terminal is a bit slow, but anyway, hey, what's happening? I've typed this thing like 1,000 years ago, Charlie. Hey, it reconnected me. Anyway, let me copy it again. So, Kubernetes manifests m dot 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 API server. All right, let's copy it to K8 backup. So we've copied it. Confirm it's there. K8. It's there. It's there. Okay. Now they want us to add some argument to the API server config. So let's go there. etc Kubernetes manifest uh, cube API server. Okay. So this is the command. We are not going to change the command. What we are going to do is add a flag, an argument to it. Okay. So this is very wrong. So we are just adding dash dash. This is very wrong as an argument to the command. I mean, he's obviously going to throw some errors. So let's see. Whilst you are doing that, you can watch the. So I'm coming. kubectl get ports from cube system. Okay. Right. There is an error. The connection to the server was refused. Did you specify da, 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 da? So yeah, something is not working as they should. So since we can't even connect to the Kubernetes API, it indicates that the API server there is obviously something wrong with it. All right. So we can't use kubectl to check logs right now. So let's check crictl to see what's going to happen. I think this is crictl ps, right? Okay. So crictl ps, we have let me see. We have control plane etcd running kube proxy canal. I don't know what that is. Calico. Okay. Controller manager scheduler. We have them running here, but we don't have the API server. So let's do dash a to get everything. So we have Cube API server. It has exited 9 seconds ago. So it means something is wrong somewhere. All right. So let's see if we can get some logs. Cube crictl logs. What's the name? I don't know if we should use just the name or the the pod name. So let's try. Oh, Christ. Let's try them out and see. So the logs, da 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 da. So yeah, we will use the so container from this field not found. Okay, so I think we should use this name rather. One of them will work. It's been a long time since I used crictl, so let's see which one works. Oh really? Are you guys kidding me? One of them should work. Okay. One of them should work. All right, since we can't get any of them to work, let's try a different way to get logs. Okay, so var log. Let's see what's there. We have ports. Okay, let's see what's there. We have cube system controller scheduler. I think the reason this is happening is because the container keeps recreating, so it's difficult to. You need to be there to actually get, like you need to wait for it to be created, and you get the logs just before it exits. So let's get something. So cube system, um, we have cube API server here, right? Cube API server. Let me see. We have some log here, so let me cut the log. Alright, so when I cut the log, I get this. Let me do it again for you guys to see. When I cut the log, I just want to move you here. I don't want you to be everywhere, my friend. It says unknown error flag. This is very wrong. Alright. The the error that we are getting from the kubeAPI server, the command is that there is an unknown flag in the configuration, and that unknown flag is dash dash. This is very wrong. Okay, so this is one way to get logs. Let's see another way to get logs. We can also get logs from var, right, log, right. We have containers. So inside containers, let's see. Um, we have cube API server da 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 da, da logs dot log. All right, it's not. Yeah, I mean you understand what I'm trying to do here. So I'm just getting whatever cube API server log that there is over there. So when I cut the logs from the var log containers, we also have the same error, right? Standard error, unknown flag. This is very wrong. So it's telling us that there is a flag in the config which it shouldn't be there. All right, unknown flag. This is very wrong. So that's what we had to take care of. Crictl. Let me see. Let me run the last crictl command. Oh, okay. So crictl. I think it should be one of them right now. So today crictl didn't work, but that's okay. The container has exited, so we shouldn't like be hopeful like that. But anyway, we've gotten our logs. So what did they say? We should check if the port, so configure the API with this new check if the port comes back up and what logs this causes. We've done that, so we should fix it. So since this thing is unknown, we should just remove it. All right, we should take it from there. So etc kubernetes manifest cube API server. Okay, so we come down here. Where is it? We come down here. This is very wrong. I mean, you've done something which is very wrong. So yeah, we should wait for like a few minutes. Everything will be all right. Qctl get ports from queue system. Okay, and voila. I think my API server is running because I'm able to like get the ports. So hallelujah. Let's check the logs. Let's check the logs once again. So cat, right? var log, right? When we check, we have containers. Inside containers, we have cube API server dot da 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 dot log. So when we cut that logs, it looks like this is a valid stream of logs that an API server should have. This is not some error. Let's check the logs for the ports, right? So in a similar fashion, var log ports, right? Then cube system, cube API server, then so we just do it. We press tap till we get to the log file. That one too, we are getting a valid stream of logs from the pod. Cool. Let's see what they say. Okay. So they also said similar things regarding where we should check the logs, the var log pods and var log containers. They also made mention of crictl, ps, and crictl logs to get the logs. We tried this one, but we couldn't get the logs because the containers were had been exited, so they couldn't be found. But if the containers kept restarting, maybe we could have found them and then check the logs. For for Kubernetes clusters that are bootstrapped with Docker as the container runtime environment, you can also use Docker PS, right, to get the logs. Okay. You can check the kubelet logs as well from the syslog or generalctl. This is when everything fails. So yeah, let's continue. Change the existing API server manifest to change the existing API server manifest argument to this. Okay. Check what the log says without using anything in dash var. Okay, this time around they don't want us to use the dash via dash log logs. So they want us to fix it in another way. So let's see. etc kubernetes manifest cube API server. All right. So over there, etcd servers. They should already have etcd servers here, but they want us to change it to this. Okay. They want us to change it to this. etcd servers is because this is where yeah, that's cool. All right. So we've done that, and let's wait for a while. Let me run the last watch command I run to see what is happening. The connection to 6443 was refused. Did you specify the right host? Also, 6443. I think 6443 is the default port for etcd. Let me check. Default port etcd. I'm checking. Oh, that's 2379. It's not 6443. So that's 6443, the default port for the Cube API server. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Come on, 6443 port. Yeah, I think that's the default port for the Cube API server. Anyway, I was making some assumptions. But let's see. kubectl get ports from Cube system. Okay. The connection to the server was refused. Okay, so once again, the server has crashed. Interesting. This time around, let's check if it's running and we can access it or what. So it's running, but just that we are not able to connect to it. So let's check some logs. kubectl logs kube API server. Crictl, not kubectl. Sorry. Oh God, this thing again. Pa pa para pam. Para da 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 da. What's the meaning of this? Let me check if it's running. The thing is running too. Do I need to use the container ID? Let me see. Oh, I needed to use the fuck the container ID. Anyway, so yeah, I think initially I should have used the container ID, but I found it out over here. So let me see. What is the error saying? Error creating leases, context deadline, error dialing, error while dialing dial TCP address. This is very wrong. Missing porting address, error while dialing the so address connection transport field. So it's trying to make so yeah. I think the beginning I was getting it wrong. Like I said, it's been a while since I used CryCTO. So I should have used the container ID, this one, instead of the container name or the pod name or whatever. So this time around, when you check it with the container ID, it gives you the logs, right? And it says that there was an error while dialing some TCP address. The address is this is very wrong. So um, it's not able to reach this address, and even so, the address is missing a port. Okay, so let's check where that we are both the conspirators and the prosecutors in this mission. So Kubernetes manifests, Kube API server. Let me see. Let me search for. Oh, where is it? This thing. This is very. Let me see. So over here, I can see that there is something like that over here. This is very wrong. So that's basically it. I just need. Oh Christ, what's happening? What's happening to me? Oh, are you guys kidding me? Okay, so that's basically what's happening. I can change it right now, but let me look at the logs further. So it's trying to create a connection and it's not going through. Okay. So yeah, we already know what we've done, so we can correct it out. We don't need to do much. Let me see if they've installed Docker over here. They are not using Docker as their container runtime, so we won't be able to see the containers using the Docker command. We can only see it with crictl. So let's take this dude out and bring this guy. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There are log locations. They said we shouldn't use the VAR. So why are they using the VAR? VAR logs. But coming to think of it, VAR in football, when there is a misunderstanding over a penalty or a red card, we go to VAR, right? And Kubernetes or normal Linux, you can go to VAR to check the logs if you are not finding something. Wow, there's a link over there. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. So check the we use the crictl command to check it, right? Using the container ID. Remember, container ID, not the container name, like I was doing like the first example. So container ID. So yeah, that results it. Over here, Docker is not their container runtime environment. Yeah, so you won't be able to do that. Let's try with syslog and see. Let's try with syslog. Okay, let's try with syslog. So um, should I cut the whole syslog? I don't know. Cut var. But then again, they said we shouldn't use. Oh God, they said we shouldn't use the var. But let's try and see var log syslog. Okay, and then we grep for what? For Cube API server. Okay, API server. And then or when we find Cube API server, we want 5 lines before it and 5 lines after it just to get some buffer of information to read. So let's see. So still grepping grep. Grep is one of my favorite Linux commands. You guys, I'm just oh my god, I fucking hate this. Oh god, let me run it again. It was about to finish. The command was about to finish. Christ. So the pod is Cube API server forbidding you. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, control clean, syncing pod, remove container. I don't know what this is. So Cube API server container ID is this. Um, mm, hmm. Let me read further into this. What am I seeing? And then I mean we problem there. Better call Jesus. I think this time around I need to start praying because God damn it. What am I seeing? Oh Christ. So this is why this should be your last attempt. The syslog should be your last attempt because there is so much verbosity over there. It's difficult to find what you are looking for, honestly. Maybe it's a skill issue, but I'm just saying. So let me see. I think uh let me see. I think Cube API server it's been run. We've already fixed the issue, so it will be difficult to find it here. So let me try and bring the issue back so that we can use the syslog to find it. Cube API server. Alright. So where's the etcd service? Okay. Comment this guy for me. And then bring this guy here. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we fixed the issue, so it's difficult to get an error. Right now they are working. Alright, so kubectl get ports from cube system. Okay. So connection refused. Right now, let's try and use the syslog to get something. Oh, I guys, I for real. Child, I fucking hate this. Okay. Oh, guys, come on, come on, come on. You guys need to subscribe so that I get this thing. So I'm not catching anymore. I'm now tailing. I get Starlink. So Kibinichi. So yeah, the last log. If you check the last log, it's coming from the control plane node. The kubelet is crying that unable to like maybe unable to write events. So it's trying to make something, some TCP request to this address, right? But the connection was refused. Why? So it just says the connection refused, but let's try and see why. Problem there. Better call Jesus, better call Jesus. Normally, big man of the world, I want your face. I see the open it down. Alright, let's see what the hell is happening. Pa 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 pum. Pa 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 pum. Ba da 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 da. Guys, I'm just enjoying, child. This has nothing to do with my survival, so I just need to enjoy. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so there is a problem here. Error syncing port skipping failed to start container. Cube API server. Why? Q control plane. Why? Failed to ensure lease. Why? I'm looking for. It's telling me what is happening, but it's not telling me why what is happening is happening. You get what I'm trying to say? So let me check other logs and see error. This one is the connection refused. I'm not interested in that. So the thing is the Kubernetes API itself hasn't crashed. Okay. It's running, but it's not able to make some TCP connections. Okay. So at least with this one, we are able to get the error. Okay, we are able to get the error here, and that's good. The error can lead us to somewhere. Okay, at least we know that 6443 is the port for the Kubernetes API. So if a port on 6443 is failing, is refusing, then it's probably coming from the Kubernetes API. So we can take a look at what is happening on the Kubernetes API, right? So after getting that knowledge, we can try crictl and check the logs. Okay. We are basically doing the same thing. Oh, interesting. This time around, the API has crashed. Okay, so it's exited and it's running again. Let's check the logs right now before it exits again. And let me check this guy. Okay, so yeah, the error is in the crictl. So you can go there, Kubernetes manifest cube API server, and wherever your issue is. So it's more of getting leads. Hey, what have I done? The thing that I'm supposed to delete, it's there, and the thing that I'm not supposed to delete, I've deleted it. That's wild. Anyway, so it's more of getting leads and then using those leads to make deductions, like you know, informed deductions, so that you can get to your resolution. All right, let's go to the next. Change the API server manifest and add invalid YAML like this. Okay, let me copy it. Vi etc kubernetes manifest cube API server. Let me. Oh no, I think you need to come down here. They said I should add something, so I've added it. Right. Okay. Check what the logs say and fix it. All right. Get ports in queue system. First of all, API server is not running, so we can't get whatever that is in cube system. So let's check crictl ps cube API is running. Let's check the logs. Crictl logs. Jeudi samedi. Oh, the thing is not running again. Let me get the one that is running right now and then do it. Okay, so we got some error. I said some error, some logs that we can take a look at. What be the error? It's like the thing is running alright. Looks like the thing is running alright. Did I really change it? Let me see. Yeah, I think I did change it. So why is it running? Alright. kubectl get ports from cube system. Is API server running? Yeah, the API server is running. Alright. Cube API server. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's having issues. Doesn't look like it's having issues. You let me try and mess it up a little bit more. Come in. Okay, I think it's because of this. It's writing some stuff. So I've messed it more. Okay. Okay. This one is shutting down, so another one will come up. Well, I don't see the Cube API here. I don't see the Cube API here. So let's check. Let's check somewhere else. Let's check the var log case. So var log containers. Let me see. I don't see Cube API. So there's Cube controller, Cube scheduler. What happened? Let me check ports. So proxy, scheduler, coordinates, calico. Hmm. Something they go on. Something they go on. crictl ps. So queue controller, queue scheduler. Right, at least you should restart, right? The guy doesn't want to restart at all. So you know what? Let me force something like a restart. So I'm moving the manifest file from where it's supposed to be here. I'm moving it to my current working directory. Then I'll move it back to try and force restart it. Alright, because I don't see it getting restarted. So let me move it back. Hey, Charlie Killers, because that's something I'm reading. Let me just oh jar off. Let me just move it back. Okay. So I've moved it back. crictl ps. Let me add a dash a. I just want to check the logs real quick. Uh, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Let me check. Um, var var log. Okay. Ports. Let's see the thing. Okay, so let me just check syslog. Okay. Yes, cut syslog. Okay. So till it's say 500 and then grep q API server. Okay, so um okay, this one people are trying to dial the cube API server. So these ones are not cube API server errors, alright? Like the kubelet is trying to dial the cube API server, so it's not really. It's related to what's happening. It's an effect. It's not a cause. But if you look at this error, alright, it says that couldn't process manifest file, alright. etc kubernetes manifest kube API couldn't pass pod. So object API version is missing in something. Uh, API version this is very wrong. So it says that it couldn't pass the YAML file. The YAML file is wrong. Something isn't adding up, or something is doing too much. That's pretty much that what it's trying to say. So it's kind of um, spilled. It has given us back the YAML file in a JSON. Okay, that's pretty much what is happening here. This one too is saying the same thing. Could not pass manifest file. Error is the path to the cube API server. Then it's giving us back the so API version is missing in this whole hula baloo. Okay, so that's pretty much what is happening. So you can go there, manifest cube API server, and then take away the guys who don't deserve to be there. Okay. All right. So let's wait for a few seconds. Let me run my last watch command. And see, cube API server is running now. So kubectl get ports. Okay. Hey, try. That's muscle memory. Anyway, to cube system. So my cube API server is running now. Let me check the logs. Kubectl logs cube system cube API server control plane. So it's running now. These are valid logs. Okay, so that's pretty much it. These are the kind of questions that you face during your CK certified Kubernetes administrator exams. You know, they will mess up the API server and you have to fix it. This time around, I was the one messing up myself and fixing it, so I kind of knew what to find out. But in the exams, it won't be you messing it up, it will be them messing it up for you. So you need to be abreast with all these logging techniques like crictl, checking the VAR log directories using syslog, if crictl container D is not the container runtime interface or whatever, and it's Docker, you need to be okay with using Docker to find the logs and all that. So yeah, these are some of the things you come across. So thanks very much for this video. Hopefully we'll meet another time to check out more stuff.